everyone. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Gayatri. This is Gayatri, and today we have two special guests with me. Two of my very good close friends, Megha and Devashri. We'll ask them to introduce themselves, starting with alphabetical order. Devashri.
Hey, hi everybody. I'm Devashri here. If you follow this channel, you must have seen me before. If not, then I'm based out of Bangalore. I work in IT with close to 15 years of experience. And there you go.
Thank you, Devashri.
Megha, over to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks both. So Megha this side, similar to what Devashri said, you might have sort of seen me on the channel before, but if not, then a 2-decade experience risk consultant based out of Bangalore. Happy to be here.
Thank you, Megha. So today, what we've decided is that we'll talk on a topic which is friendship. We'll discuss what our opinions are around the topic and how we've navigated through that all through our lives. Let's see. How do we define friendship? How do you define what is when I say friendship? What comes to your mind, Devashri?
Oh, I think friendship is the most volatile relationship in our lives. Like it's um so okay, there's an analogy, right? It's
Mm,
it's like a it's like as if you are in a railway station and there are, the train comes and there are people who come into your life and then go
mm, mm,
as and when. So more around that perspective, each one adds their value. But now that I'm matured, if a 4-year-old me was like, then it's like friendship is forever kind of thing.
mm,
However, it's one relationship that you choose. It's not god given. It's not a blood relationship. It's not even and good part is that you know it's not a it's not a mandatory. So basically you can either you can if you're not okay with it, you can walk out of it. There is very less, relatively less implication
mm,
around it. So yeah, I think this is the sweetest relationship one can have because of how open the boundaries are.
mm. True, true. Megha, what do you think when I say
Yeah,
friendship? What comes to your mind?
uh, I think for me, friendship over the years uh, means a relationship where two people just care for each other.
Mm,
And also, I see that the two people grow together. Uh,
oh,
so, if for me, if Gayatri and I are best friends,
mhm,
either for short term or for long term, as Devashri said, it's not something that you're born with, it's something that you're sort of blessed around.
mm,
But if you truly care for me and you hold my hand during the time of need and I reciprocate the same,
mm.
then the relationship evolves into something which we call friendship,
Yeah.
would be my take uh, on friendship. And also, I feel that we don't sort of need to give it a different name.
Mm,
It is very similar to, let's say, a romantic relationship, a community where it's just two people caring for each other, would be how I look at friendship.
yeah. So care is that I think base quality on which friendships are built in. Did we have care when we were children, when we had those childhood friendships, or was it just?
I
Uh,
believe in a way so, because for example, little things which I recall, I used to steal one of my friends' lunch boxes, right, and swap it. So that was, if not caring, but yes, sharing at that time,
Sharing, right?
right, or copying somebody's homework or assisting somebody learn a
Mm,
lesson. So again,
mm,
it's how two people are growing together
ah,
in sort of similar circumstances when you begin within school, but then it
mm,
evolves. Of course,
mm,
when you start working, there would be various differences that, or various voices of opinion that two people can hold. But
mm,
I might view, let's say, a marriage very differently than how you view it or than
yeah,
how Devashri views it. But
yeah.
then all three of us collectively sort of just help broaden our horizons on that topic.
Mm,
Would be again something which is friendship in a way.
Hmm. Yeah.
I
You're saying
think
something, Devashri.
no, I was saying that I think while the term friendship, what is friendship,
Hmm.
remains the same,
Hmm.
but our understanding of it and our needs and requirement from that relationship
Hmm.
evolves and changes at
Hmm.
every stage in life.
Yeah.
So while the definition remains the same, however, the underlying needs change. For example, as Megha said, when all these kids, they're just in um at the house, right?
Hmm.
And then the first time they enter the school,
Hmm.
right? I think they're just trying to find a piece of comfort for themselves. So,
Hmm.
some kids get along. It could be, it could be small gesture that, you are in a queue and somebody allowed you to be in queue, and then you
Hmm.
felt that safety, and you're
Hmm.
like, oh, now we can be friends. So, small,
Yeah.
small spaces that we create. And as we grow together, then, because we are all dealing with the same vulnerabilities, friendship is more of, usually
Similar
within the same
experience. Yeah.
age
Yep.
range. So
Hmm.
you're all dealing with the same things, so you don't
Hmm.
feel alone. You
Hmm.
feel, you can, and therefore all of the other things follow. You can confront, you are not
Hmm.
judged, because
Hmm.
you're all in the same boat in some
Yeah.
way or form, or eventually you will be, or in the past you have been. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so yeah. So with age it changes your
Hmm.
needs and requirement. However, the essence remains the same.
Right. So then there are, now I
You can
feel
give
that
your opinion though.
no,
To hear
my
from you.
opinion to friendship is that uh, as kids, I feel it is very important to have friends. Uh, and I feel as I don't know if all parents do that, but uh, if you ask me, I think parents should also look out that whether your child has friends or not. If your child doesn't have friends, make it a point to perhaps push your child to have friends and to mingle and have friends, because I according to my senses, that friendship is something which will define your entire flow or your entire memory stack, right, from your childhood. If you don't have friends, I feel so I didn't have when I was growing up. I till I think eighth standard, I didn't have any stronghold like friends करके कोई था नहीं ऐसा mainly. Only after eighth or seventh, I think I got two friends, Sanya and Richa, like, and then slowly only two three friends, uh, गिन के तीन फ्रेंड्स बस. बट आई फील कि बचपन में ज्यादा फ्रेंड्स होने चाहिए. ज्यादा आउटस्पोकन बनेंगे हम, वरना क्या हो जाता है, आई फील इफ यू डोंट हैव फ्रेंड्स, you are just with yourself, and you really don't have anybody your age, as you said, Devashri. It's important to mingle with your own age people. When you are small, you mingle with your age people, then when you grow, you mingle with older people, and then at certain age you of course need older friends, but it's important to mingle with your own age people and have friends amongst that.
I think you are, sort of assessing yourself too
Hmm.
much, because if you have evolved in a
Huh.
social circle, sometimes probably the depth of friendship is not so much. You're
Correct.
not in a
Correct.
do and die form, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
However, I don't think so till seventh, eighth standard you had no friends can be, a complete, like maybe that deep
Yeah.
friendships or
Okay.
people you cannot count
Of
on, or
course, I did
something
have
like that.
people. I was not isolated. I did talk to people. I was a very talkative child. In PTM meetings, my teacher used to tell my parents कि सच्ची कि कोई नया बच्चा अगर आता है तो गायत्री के पास बिठा देंगे थोड़े दिन, वो कर देगी उनको ठीक.
No, so I think that, however, what you're saying is maybe you didn't feel one person who you can,
Correct.
there was one go-to person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I also had similar background because we
Hmm.
were changing school, we were changing
Hmm.
places. So
Hmm.
as a child, your psychology gets into a place when you are
Hmm.
getting transferred so many times and moving
Hmm.
schools so many times. Then
Yeah.
you know that this is a very limited frame. In that
Correct.
back in those days, you did not have any ways or forms to keep the connect as well.
Correct.
So when I used to go to a place, I used to make the fullest of it. Not necessarily that those friendships got carried forward. I
Yeah.
think the first meaningful friendship I, for that matter, made when I was in, say, as you said, 9th, 10th grade, because
Correct.
then
That is the,
after
yeah.
that, my, the location didn't change as much, and
Mm,
we were
mm,
at the same place. Today also we can connect, and that was also one person. And after that, it was college, because we used to stay in hostels. So practically we are living with each other for
mm,
four four odd years.
mm,
So,
mm.
you decide out of each and every person. So
Yeah.
I think as you said, that it could be short-lived friendships.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
certainly you would have had friends.
I would have had, no, I agree to that concept. I was not a sad, lonely child. I was a ha- happy, yeah, talkative child. So I did have friends, but perhaps you always try to ma- uh, this is the
fit
problem with,
in.
yeah, you this is a, and because I was a South Indian who was, getting raised in a North Indian city, I was always confused with my identity. To which slot should I go? कहाँ पे जाके फिट होना है? तो उसी कंफ्यूजन में बचपन ही निकल गया लगता है। तो but still I had friends. Now it's not that I didn't have friends. Defining friendship, yes, with age it varies, and now I define it in a very different way. Did you have friends as a child, Megha? Your childhood
Oh,
friends?
yeah, so of course, I mean, to my youngest memory, and by God's grace, I still have a friend whom I met in class nursery. So it's like we say
Wow.
that, it's almost 36, 37 years of knowing each other. And
Oh
and to the
wow.
point that we've grown together. But I think
Wow.
that's like fingers crossed. And that's thanks to
Mm,
God that we've
mm,
been in touch.
mm,
Uh, but there were people, of course, who were friends with me in class 3, 4. And I vaguely remember who shifted schools.
mm,
There were one or two girls in 9th, 10th, they shifted schools. But
mm,
thanks to social media, again, we got in touch. We've met in
mm,
recent past, right? So, but but I feel that, and especially looking at my daughter now, she was at a
mm,
stage where she used to come back saying from school or from play area in the apartment that,
mm,
Mama, I don't have friends.
mm,
And then
mm,
and and I took it as a sort of a surprise that, you have
mm,
interests,
mm,
you talk to people. She used to go to daycare at a very young age, so she's kind of social,
mm,
not an introvert like how I was in
mm,
school.
mm,
But I feel it's important to also tell yourself, tell your
mm,
kids, around people around you, to just take the initiative, and instead of saying that I don't have friends, just be that person who who takes leads to sort of, meet people. Like
ah,
I remember, I
mm,
think all three of us met at the badminton court, and
yes.
it was
Oh,
very strange. Devashi and I were talking the other day.
ah,
I was like, it's not been very long that we've known each other,
yeah.
but I really don't remember how we met, like the
Yes.
first meeting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then she was like, it was just random. I said it on a badminton group that anybody's available.
Mm,
I volunteered. Okay, let's go and practice. And she
mm,
was like, the first couple of conversations with you,
mm,
but very, very welcoming, no
mm,
judgment area. Or,
mm.
it was just that be that person, in my view.
Correct.
I would love to be that person who opens doors to people. And
Mm.
that's how I think
You
friendship sort of
build.
evolve, right?
Correct.
Of course, each and everyone you meet would not be your friend per se. They might be you
Mm,
just talking, having light conversations,
mm,
or just saying a hello or smile at each other when you're walking
yeah.
around. But there would be people from that lot
Mm,
who to carry as friends. Again, it
yeah.
can be short, can be long,
Yeah.
like, but
Yeah.
I feel the message is that be that person where you
Mm.
say that, I'd be your friend, rather than just sort of saying that, okay,
I
I don't
don't
have
have
friends
any. No,
to
no. That
hang
is so
out
nice.
with, is
Yeah.
how I've made friends. I feel in life that I, even now I would love to just take an initiative. Okay, let's have a meal together. Let's, 5, 6 of us. Let's just go
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah, you have
um,
always been
somebody
the.
has to be that person who sort of steers it, and
Mega
then
is
that's it.
always.
Yeah, it just breaks the ice, and
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
I think as much as it is
Mm,
important to be inviting,
mm,
um, in friendship, I think the less facade, or you don't have to be someone else
mm,
for you to be a friend with somebody. And I think therefore it's extremely important to judge, go by your gut, that
Mm,
is
mm.
this a, because nowadays it's not necessary that all friendships are of this form and
Yeah,
of this way.
yeah.
We have all
All
probably been
kinds
in,
of friendships, right?
yeah,
That was
all
our
kinds of,
next. Yeah.
this is it's sometimes there are friendships, and therefore we have to be also mindful with kids and everything, which
Mm,
are sabotaging in nature,
mm,
right? they're
mm,
not they're not the ones that the care and the love, and
mm.
we can see that
Yeah,
things are not working, or we are
yeah,
trying to please the other person too
yeah,
much, or
yeah. Or
it's
you're
just
afraid
becoming over, or
of
you're
hurting the other
afraid of being,
person. Yeah.
yeah, or you're afraid of being left out, or
Mm,
but I think if you're not feeling that joy
mm.
Yeah.
out of friendship, then that's your prime, this one, right? If I'm meeting
Concept.
somebody,
Yeah.
I should feel like, I should feel it should not be a pressurized situation for me. And
Mm,
I think this you understand as in when you grow older,
yeah.
right? With the
Yeah.
age, you understand that not all friendships have to be taken to heart and taken to grave, kind of thing. When you're kids, you
Yeah.
feel
So
like,
true.
as you said, as you rightly said, you're trying to fit in. So you
Yeah.
would try to do things, or evolve yourselves. Question
Mm,
is that, is it changing your fundamentals? Because as you're growing, you need to evolve. So
mm.
maybe you learn a lot of things from your friends
Yeah.
as well. Okay, I need to
Yeah.
behave, but your fundamentals, I have to be kind, I have to be honest, I don't
Yeah.
have to bully others, right?
So
So
true.
all of those should not
Should not
get,
change and should not get
yeah, should
affected
not
as.
get shaken up. So
Yeah.
those fundamentals, if they're moving around, then that means that friendship is not that great for you. Just like, in whatever cinema, or so
Mm,
much we are seeing where bad friendships are ruining lives.
mm,
So I think it's very important to trust your gut. It's very important as parents also to look around, because
That's sort of, yeah, very
ultimately,
mm,
true.
mm.
your child will be some of the friendships that
Yes, that's what I'm
he is
trying
into,
in the initial
or
thing
she
I
is
told you.
into. So you need to just look around that, keep an eye, don't over, because
Not overprotective.
don't
Yeah. Yeah.
over,
Yeah.
yeah, do
Mm,
not
mm, mm,
overindulge, or don't be overprotective, because you're also allowing them to navigate their way,
mm,
for kids.
mm,
However, just be mindful around how much that friendship is taking away. It
mm.
has to be a balanced
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
It cannot be a,
I remember this. Before I say this, this is our next. I had planned this topic, right? With what are the different kinds of friendships? Some friendships are just like we just meet over a badminton match and then just go. That's it, finished, right? We play, we go back, or we meet over potluck, we eat, and then we go back. But some are like after potluck, also we stay for 2 3 hours chatting and then waiting, listening to our own stories and taking turns to crib about something. And then, so there are different kinds of friendships, some which don't need that much time and effort, and some for which we have to give in time and effort because it's very rewarding in return.
yeah.
So we need to do that. But the other point which I had was that now I completely forgot. This is happening way too many times. In office also I forgot something and then I'm like looking at
Okay,
the
but
wall.
just to
Yeah.
add on your other point, right?
Mm.
Friendship essentially is, so as you said, meeting on badminton court, I would call it as a social circle.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
friendship
not friendship,
necessarily.
correct. Yeah.
So it's a social circle. I think friendship is making space for the other person, and the other
Mm.
person needs that space.
Yeah.
So between us also, I think we have had endless conversations over the last few years, and I think it's always that one person would say that let's meet. I need to meet, and people make that space for that person.
Yeah.
Okay, today is your day. You can rant, you can listen, and we
Correct.
don't judge, or
Yeah.
we just take that space, or for that
Or we
matter,
listen. Yeah.
yeah,
Listen,
we
listen.
listen,
Correct. Correct.
listen without judging, or without we let
Mm.
that person went out, and then we also offer opinions which might be in line or not in line. We're not scared to give opinions that
Mm. Oh, this was
I,
the point. Fear. Yeah.
right, while you feel this,
Mm.
however, I don't feel this. So
Mm.
maybe you need to think from this point of view. So then
Mm.
you're like sort of, and there is no mandate to take that opinion. So
Mm.
it's your wish. You take
Mm.
it, you don't take it. It's not
And
going
you're not
to
judged for that
affect
also if you don't take
yeah.
it.
So I think those are the
Yeah.
best kind of friendships
Yeah.
where you can sort of
Yeah. So I feel that if you want to maintain any friendship, one, as you said, we have to be judgment free. It has to operate from a place of confidence, not from a place of fear. What else do you think, Megha? Like, what should be pointers? If, let's say, someone wants to know how to maintain friendship, right? Forming a friendship
Feel-
is easy, but how to maintain it?
Yeah, so I feel there are two very important aspects of being a good friend.
Mm.
One is being a truth teller, and the second is confidant. So Devashri touched upon being the confidant, where you're just listening and
Mm.
the other person trusts you with the banter, right?
Mm.
Because there are various subtle personal things that we share in friendship. And
Mm.
therefore, that trust is very important. That even though I might be angry, I might be irritated, but I'm trusting you with
Mm.
with all the things that I'm sharing. But equally important is to be that truth teller who
Mm.
shows you that not at right stage where you're not right now when you're irritated, but with time that maybe what you're thinking, I hold a different view, or maybe
Mm.
what you were thinking was just very very
Mm.
topical only for that situation. Maybe you
Mm.
didn't do well and somebody said something and then you were
Mm.
really angry, but
Mm.
the next day, the following day, over a cup of tea or over a game of something,
Mm.
like out for
Mm.
sport, can you be that uh,
Mm.
that teller who shows another side to you? Would
Mm.
also be the different types of friendship, or sort of caring that you need to do as a friend. So I think it's
Mm.
somebody with a lot of responsibility as well, where it's not
Mm.
just having fun together, but it's also, to the first point that I said, growing together.
Mm.
um, would be, and you can only do that to the point when you're fearless in that relation. Because
Yeah.
if i'm
You
if
can't
i'm being
operate
very
differently.
mindful,
Yeah.
and if I'm seeing that, oh, usko bura lag jayega, I
Mm.
should not say that, then you're not really helping the other person grow.
Mm.
Of course, it can't be, as I said, it can't be just said right there, right then. You have to be
Mm.
a little intelligent, smart, and that
all
you can
also.
also do. Yeah.
It
Mm.
can't be with
So
all also that
yeah.
level of depth, and therefore there are layers to friendship. So,
Mm.
while I have 50 friends in the society, I might not tell 50 people
Mm.
all
That
of
I'm
it.
upset today,
So
or
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever,
whatever.
or
Mm.
day in, day out, or maybe they also don't know as much. We will smile at each other. We will, watch
Mm.
over kids together. Doesn't mean that,
Mm.
obviously you will do whatever in terms of
Mm.
emergencies, but day
Mm.
in, day out, you might
Mm.
not know as much about me, or, it's
Yeah.
just that being together kind of thing. But
Mm.
there are only few, and thankfully I'm blessed to have you guys and few other people in my life that you can actually take that level of take it to that level. Another
Yeah.
thing that is extremely important to keep friendship is to make time,
Correct.
right? Because this is not something that is enforced on you.
Mm.
So basically,
Oh, so
it's
you're
not that.
telling that we have to make effort to maintain that friendship?
No,
Okay.
you have to take some time out, right?
Okay.
If
Mm.
because by end of the day, and you will take that time out because you
Mm.
find joy there, right?
Mm.
So it's
Mm.
like self priority. Put some time
Mm.
out for yourself.
Mm.
I remember that, howsoever long days we have had,
Yeah,
11
we
o'clock,
used to
12
come.
o'clock,
Oh my God.
there
Yeah.
has been a time that we have just stepped out of the house at 11:30, that, been a long day at work. Can we
Mm.
just walk, or can we just hang out? And,
Correct.
like, everybody would be on the same page. So question is not why whether you are tired. I have been asked in the past that, oh, I thought you were tired, so you would go to bed. But I have not got any
Mm.
unwinding time. So I
Mm.
need to unwind, or
Yeah.
I need to do something. And then um so or we used to stay in the same society, but for
Mm.
instance, you have friends who are outside, or
Yeah.
you've not met. So just take that little brief time, 1 or 2 days, to connect, go out together, do something.
Mm.
So you need to
Mm.
prioritize prioritize that.
Mm. Do
It's
you
the
think it
most
becomes difficult with time as you age to maintain friendships? Uh,
this middle life becomes very difficult, where you have 50 other
oh,
priorities. Then
Megha,
then
what
it
do you think about
becomes.
that?
No, I feel that again to the point that Devashi raised about taking time. Um, if I look back, I've given my best in terms of taking out time for friends, irrespective, of course, of the responsibilities around. You might give lesser time. You might
Yes.
not have all the time
Mm,
to just go out for 5 hours,
mm,
watch a movie, binge or something, but you'll
mm,
always take out those 30 minutes to just hear somebody. And I
Yeah,
mm,
feel if you do that, you
mm,
pass those middle ages where you're struggling with or juggling with a lot of responsibilities.
mm,
Everything is sort of around you, but just taking out those little moments would keep the momentum. And everybody understands why
mm,
somebody's freer, why somebody's more occupied, why
mm,
somebody didn't talk to me for 2 3 months. Maybe I just had a
mm,
baby, right? So one
mm.
of our friend actually shouted at us that you didn't call for 2 months. I had a baby doesn't mean that I'm not available. And we
Mm,
did try to reach her, right? So
mm,
those are the things where I think it's just making an effort and checking on people. So
mm.
it's also a big responsibility, as I said, to just check if somebody's
To
gone
check.
quiet,
This is a
right?
very
Are
good
you
point to check.
okay?
To
like
uh,
to
check.
take the subtle
yeah,
signs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
To check.
I
So, and
think.
you can do that only once you know a person that, oh, I used to have a weekly connect, or, a couple of times we used to just message. There were forwards that used to come from Gayatri, even
Mm,
if she's not very active in calling, but there used to be
mm,
some activity. Now,
Yeah,
suddenly there's nothing. Is she doing okay?
mm,
I know her mother
mm,
was not keeping well or something, right? But just
mm,
subtly checking
mm,
on people.
mm,
And
yeah,
again, thanks to technology, which is so easy to do, you know.
mm,
absolutely. Yeah,
So that's very,
mm.
very important.
This can be a
yeah.
good tip to maintain friendships, because now if I look back in my own life, when I was in college and then when I got my first job, I had a different set of friends. Then I got today only I was discussing the same thing. My time in Hyderabad, where my first job was, I had a different set of friends. I used to be really close, talk on day to
Yeah.
day basis, and then now after that I came to Bangalore and then Canada. So it's like different stages, and I had different set. And now the point which you said, it's very important to check. Maybe I will go back and check with some of my Hyderabad. No, I didn't do that because it was not,
Yeah.
let's say I didn't
Sometimes you don't feel the need of it.
need of
Sometimes
it.
you feel that the other person got
Yeah,
married, might
got
be busy.
married and might be
It's
busy
like
and
so many
so
things.
many
Yeah.
things. I did talk to them, like I did message them once in a while. I used to message them for New Year's or for anything. But it's important to check, at least to know if they're all right, if they're doing fine, right? To
Yeah,
maintain friendship, it's a good tip to check.
absolutely. I think you don't have to be over.
Correct.
Again,
Over the
it's
board. Hmm.
not necessarily you don't have to be in the face all
Hmm.
the time, but
Hmm.
yeah, you can subtly check. Then you can leave it to the other person also. Maybe they are not feeling comfortable, so maybe they don't want this anymore,
Yep.
or whatever their priorities must have changed. And I
Hmm.
think as your friendship grows, it grows very gracefully, because all of us must be having somebody in our life that
Hmm.
you meet after say 6 months or a year, or
Hmm.
whatever. You
Hmm.
catch it like so quickly. It's not that you've
Hmm.
spoken so often, you don't talk on a daily basis, or you
Hmm.
don't do that, but you're like quickly on the same
Hmm.
page,
Yeah.
like within an hour
Yeah.
or so. Like, I'm saying years of not talking
Correct. Correct.
also, and
Yeah.
then you're on the
True.
same page, because you were so similar when you were in that space, that
Hmm.
you grew out also to be similar. That's a
Similar.
very
Yeah.
natural form of friendship.
And it
And
also depends. Yeah. You finish. Sorry to cut.
no, I
Hmm.
said that, as you said, right? Fear and everything. I think
Hmm.
that should not be there. So
That should
basically, you
not be
should
there.
not be like, you should not be like, I have not spoken because of XYZ. The other person should also be in an understanding state that, oh yeah, maybe something came up for her, and I
Hmm.
was also busy. I also did not check. Let's just catch up.
Hmm.
There is no grudge. There is no this one.
See,
She
that's
didn't talk.
important. Yeah.
She didn't
That
talk for so
grudge
long.
thing
Why should
is,
I talk?
yeah.
So yeah, I think.
That's where this your own personal qualities come into picture. How mature you are, how secure you are with your own self, because all sort of problems arise with this thing called as insecurity. If you are not secure with yourself, you will try to find faults with others so that you can eventually become secure with yourself. So once if you let's say your friendship is not broken, if it is in a pause state, to rekindle also, you both have to be at the same maturity level. Okay, fine, whatever happened has happened, and now let's in adult friendships, that is that is, I feel it's tougher, because once you are adults, you really don't want to get into that uncomfortable state where you have to rekindle something which is in past state, or it is almost dead.
If it is
Bring it back.
so much of rekindling is required, then I don't
Then
think
it's, yeah.
friendship is needed,
Yeah.
right?
Then, yeah.
And
No, what I'm trying to say is that some friendships are okay to be dead friendships, and we should
Because they're
realize
only
that.
for a reason. Yeah.
Yes, we should realize that, and then we should be acceptive of that. Because I'm sure people who are listening to also might have had very promising friendships at certain stage in your life, and then slowly you realize that it's not giving you anything in return. It's only one way friendship,
And
like how we have one-sided love. It's only one person giving, 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 and the other person is not exactly
it's not
reciprocating.
a healthy relationship
Yeah,
in any
meaningless.
relationship.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no, but I feel that, uh,
Do you see those kind
they'll
of
always,
friendships?
yeah, of course, lot many
Mm,
times, right?
mm,
Because I feel that, as I said, if I look at the kind of friends or the
mm,
phases of friendships, right? There'll always be a friend who's just friend for a reason, right? They want
mm,
your notes or they
mm,
want something. It
mm,
can be one-sided, but you truly enjoyed their company for whatever time. You
mm,
felt good helping them, right? So
mm,
it's friend for a reason, but you felt good, and therefore the relationship sort of continued for whatever time. And then
mm.
there is friend for a season, like I was in college, or you were in Hyderabad for a short time. So it's friend
Mm,
for a season, and then the friendship faded a bit due to whatever reason. But I think lastly is the friendships or the friends for lifetime, and
mm,
those are the ones that you sort of cherish and hold on. There would be people always walking in and out of your lives, which
mm,
doesn't
yes.
mean that they weren't or were friends. I
mm,
won't look at it that way. In the
mm,
end, both you and the other person enjoyed that time or enjoyed those activities together. Let's say I love painting or you love singing, right?
mm,
And we are doing it for a couple of years.
mm.
You can call it for a reason, for a season, but it didn't last for lifetime, and therefore that was it. But we truly
Okay.
had a good time
Yeah.
collaborating, right? That
Mm,
doesn't mean that I wouldn't call you a friend. You
yeah.
are a friend, you were a friend, but
Mm.
only for let's
That
say whatever
particular time.
stipulated time. Or
Mm, mm. No, that's a
but
good.
friends for lifetime is, I think, again, to all our discussions so far, would be where you would take an extra effort, where you would go an extra mile. I would
Mm.
catch a flight just to go and meet her. uh, for happy
Even,
moments, for sad
yeah,
moments, whatever, right? But
even this call, it is early morning for you. You're
not
still
very early.
here. Okay.
It's
Normal
late for
morning.
you, but not very early for us.
Normal morning for you, but you guys are still on the call, and I really appreciate it. So it's like those little steps, and that only comes for the third kind of friendship which you told, which is lifetime friendship. Now, this is a peculiar question which I had in my mind. Does the time of knowing a person define the depth of friendship, of that friendship?
Yes,
Let's say I have known,
yes.
it defines
That,
the,
yeah, it,
the
it, it
amount of
does
time.
define.
Let's say
Yes, because
I know a person only for 6 months. Can't I have deep friendship with that person? Or
unlikely. You might or might not have, but it'll take
mm,
years, or some time at least. I can't quantify it if it's 2 years, if it's 6 months, but it takes time to build trust or to
mm,
deepen a relationship.
okay.
I think you can have deep relationships or deep friendship within 6 months, etc. But why time is a
Yeah.
factor? The
Mm,
reason that with time, it's said that if you have maintained your friendship for say a decade, it will be a lifetime friendship. All right. Now
okay.
the reason being that it's a test of time. So
Mm,
Yeah.
basically, are you during your good time, during your bad phases, during, you know, for both the parties, during good phases, bad phases, during losses, during gains. Like, for example, a lot of people were very good friends in college. Like, they were thinking, they thought that they would, sustain for life. Then everybody got into relationship,
Mm.
marriages, right?
Mm.
They just sort of, because friendship is not demanding, it's the most supporting relationship. They
Mm.
would support you, and then eventually there would be people that forgot about all those friends that were there
Yeah.
because they got so busy. So I think friendship is a test of time. You
Mm.
can have deeper connections, like we spoke, right? We have not been friends for a very long time.
Yeah.
However, as of today, I feel that we have a depth of friendship that is, that is
Mm.
worth and could be there for lifetime. But then
Mm.
only time can tell that, right?
Mm.
Because how things, we have had different backgrounds, different
Yeah.
upbringing, different things. A
Yeah.
lot of things were there. So with time and with differences, with sometimes things not working in our favor, it
Mm.
it can turn into a beautiful thing, or it might not, maybe. But
Mm.
does it mean that today I don't feel that we have a deep connection? I do feel. So there is
Mm.
no harm in
There's
feeling.
no. Mhm.
It's just that friendship has to survive the test of time for it to
Mm.
be a lifelong
Mm.
relationship.
10
And I
years,
think
Gayatri.
that's what
Anyways.
10
Devashri
years
is.
for us.
As of now, I feel that it is fine. I don't know how I will feel tomorrow
Yeah.
also, or after this call. I don't know how I'm going to feel. That's what Devashri has given a hint. No, but I agree to it. And I feel that one should not even, when you are friends with somebody, you shouldn't put that pressure on yourself and on the
Yeah.
other person that,
Yeah.
oh my God, I have to maintain. Like,
Mm,
I used to feel that sometimes, right? When you guys
yeah.
used to, you put messages in the group that, do you want to come for a walk? Some days I used to feel I shouldn't go too often also. Like, it's becoming like every day. Not both of.
Yeah. No, but then that's what with time you'll find the
No,
equilibrium and the courage to either say yes or no and
no,
be very honest about it.
it's not about
Like I
I
slept, I'm
shouldn't go.
tired,
Yeah, that's what.
and I really need to. Let's do this
Yeah,
every day or twice a day,
yeah.
right? So,
And
uh,
when our group was a little bigger, right? Then I felt that it was too taxing for me
mm,
per
for
se
some,
when I was coming
yeah,
back
to
from
honor
office.
some, yeah,
Yeah, to come back and then to, so I was so tired. Then I said, I think I should not go daily. Like, I should reduce. Not from the sense of, oh, I don't want to mingle with you guys. Of course, I valued that time. It's just that the other person also. So this one important concept in friendship is operation without
giving,
fear and giving space. So
yeah.
that is very important to maintain it. We all of us are married. Do you think married people need friends? Because eventually our husbands are supposed to be our friends.
No, no, no. I
No.
think I think husbands
They are
hus,
supposed to be friends,
husbands
but we do
husbands
need
are
to have
friends
friends.
till you get married.
Oh.
Once you get married, they are husbands, right? So there
Mm.
is a different role also that you're filling for each other, and therefore, because you're in a bound relationship,
Mm.
essentially, right? So
Mm.
I think my as and I might be wrong here, and because you said, as kids we need friends, of course, as kids we need friends, but I
Mm.
think as you age, you
Mm.
really need friends.
Mm.
So, once you get married, once you have kids, because it starts feeling that, there is very less space and time and judgment and all of that, for
Mm.
you to speak to somebody without being judged, to speak to
Mm.
somebody
Mm.
without being questioned of your capabilities, or
Mm.
etc.
Did you study in a co-ed school, Megha, or a
No, it
girls'
was
school?
a girls' convent.
Oh, sad
Uh,
life. So you literally saw no boys in your childhood.
no, not really, except at the annual fest or whatever they used to call it, annual carnival at that time.
Yeah,
But
So maybe
yeah,
you could tell our audience, where did you study?
so I studied at Queen Mary's school in Delhi. It was a girls'
Okay.
convent school, which is, I think, now 110 years old.
Mm.
But all girls school, very, very conventional, traditional sort of attire also for girls. We wore a salwar kameez
Mm.
from grade 8th or 9th onwards.
You had that dupatta and that triangle thing.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. It's
And
like Holy
very
Child
disciplined,
Convent, like white and red. What
white
color?
and purple. white
Oh,
and
white and purple.
purple. But I
Okay.
think it was very similar to Holy Child, and there was one school where they had blue and white or something.
Mm, mm,
But I really and truly cherish that time.
mm,
Uh, I never felt that the boys or like the other gender was not around. It was just so much of fun.
mm,
Um, and I think a lot of open talks, a lot of freestyle sort of
mm,
environment where the
mm,
girls are sitting the way they want to. You're talking
mm,
about various things which you can't in front of, let's say, if there are boys in the school.
mm,
So I don't regret that at all. But yes, college was co-ed,
mm,
which sort of again opens very different.
mm.
Uh,
So it was the first time
Different
you
ways.
saw boys.
No, so I think in coaching, I started taking maths coaching in class
Oh,
10th.
then
That's
know
where
that.
you at least sitting in the same class where there are boys as well.
Mm,
And yeah, so it was never that, okay, college would be the first time where you have boys sitting on the next bench. It was
mm,
before as well in terms of an environment. But again, coaching would be for an hour or so and then you're back home. But
mm,
school or college is like for 8 hours, right? So that
mm,
a long duration in terms of just how to act socially as a girl, how to be
mm,
comfortable with
mm.
boys around was something that I learned in college, of course.
Okay,
Uh,
right. Yeah, that's nice. And did you have like how Devashri told a gang of boyfriends,
What?
and then
uh,
you
I
being the
I have
only girl?
And
now.
friends who
I
are boys.
I
Sorry,
have
It's
friends
not
who
like
are
a
now.
gang
boys.
of girlfriends.
I
Sounds so bad, yeah. Friends who are
Yeah,
boys.
friends who are boys are, so I made very, very good friends who gave very different perspectives
Mm-hmm.
towards how a woman would think
Mm,
about being a, so I was a single parent for almost a decade. So those aspects were something where I really looked up to and advice
mm,
from another gender, right?
mm,
Because till that time, it was, let's say, the upbringing was in a girls' college.
mm, mm,
I have a sister, so there was no brother also at home.
mm,
Father generally just goes out, so three females at home, right? So your
mm,
world was just around females, at least for me,
mm,
till I was 17, 18,
mm,
when I stepped into college or when you start working. But at my workplace, I started working young at the age of 20. So that's where I truly, truly made very, very good friends. We are
mm,
friends even now after 20 years of sort of running around. But
mm,
I think having friends from another gender
mm,
really adds to your perspectives uh,
mm.
of uh, of something that you learn from your spouse. It's beyond that. So
Oh,
I think having friends of both genders
it's
is
Yeah,
important. Mm,
is, is important.
absolutely. Yeah. No, I think I second that thought. Just to
mm-hmm,
take 2 seconds on the thought that Megha just said,
Mm,
that
mm,
having friends of the other gender is very different from having a husband, because
yeah.
as you
mm,
said that you're open to listening. You
mm.
are open to,
Correct.
you're not part of the conflict
Mm.
with your friend,
Oh,
right? With your
that's so
husband, you're
good.
part of the conflict, or you're
Yeah,
part of the system, right? With
yeah,
your friend, you're not. So maybe
yeah.
you would be okay to admit, yeah, maybe I was also
I
not
was,
that
yeah.
I
great,
was
Let me give
also
it a
right?
wrong.
shot.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah,
be okay to be vulnerable, because there is
yeah.
less of a ego factor there, which
Mm,
which eventually might help you in your
Yes.
relationship. That
yeah.
okay, now the husband might get jealous. हाँ मतलब उसने बोला तो फिर
तो मैं
now you
मान
Like men are from Mars and women are from Venus, but then you
mm,
start sort of believing it
understanding.
once it's
Correct.
once it's happening to you or with you.
Yeah. No, no, that is correct. I think at some point we also need, as you said, that's such a profound thing that you need to hear it from someone else. That maybe you are also wrong, Gayatri. You should not have said this, or you should have not acted like this way. You are right. If you're not part of the conflict, then it's like you're not inside they tell it, right? When you're in the tornado, you will not realize,
Yeah.
what's
It's
wrong.
yeah.
after the
You're
storm.
out. Yeah.
If you're in
After
the
the storm.
current, or
Yeah,
whatever.
if you're in the current, if you're outside, that is when you will see what's actually happening. And it's important if someone gives that perspective. Yeah. Oh, so what have we decided? That even if you're married, it doesn't matter. You need friends.
Yeah.
And
And then
all the
just
more when
and
you
then
grow old, you
I think
need
you
more
need friends
friends
at all stage of
at
all
life.
all
stages. I
stages.
was about to say that even if you're growing old, and it's just like the kids are off to college and you're just like, because for me it's going to happen in next 3 or 4 years, so I'm now started to think what will I do during that time.
At some point,
And
Megha,
then
was your daughter your best
yeah.
friend?
um,
And maybe Devashri now,
so
is she becoming your best friend? Or, I
thing
mean,
with
it's too early
kids,
for Devashri, but
when daughters are young, of course they talk a lot, they're more
mm,
talkative I feel than sons, but I don't have a real parallel to draw to.
mm,
But with teenage, she's a teenager now,
mm,
I feel they also open up more with their friends.
mm,
Said that, it's not that she's totally closed, she doesn't talk to me or she's a rebel or anything like that, but she definitely enjoys company with her friends more
mm.
than hanging out with me, unless there is a purpose attached. If you want to go for shopping, then of course I'm the sponsor, or if you, sometimes of course we go eat out as a family, but she would, for example, there was a
Mm,
cultural event last weekend and we were down, there was a DJ, so she was dancing with her friends, and
mm.
I really want that rather than to just have her around me all the time, which
Yeah,
which they
that's what I
do
was thinking. Yeah.
till they're
No,
like
no.
7 8 years old or 10, till
Mm.
they're old enough to sort of be independent enough, so
I
they
think,
start enjoying that independence.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
I think
think
I asked the wrong
daughters and
question. I
mothers, right?
reframed.
Daughters and mothers have a very different equation,
Yeah.
right? So when they're kids, so obviously you try to see the younger version of you in your
Yes.
daughter. If you have not done that, then you are just not like you're lying.
You're lying.
Became friends with my mother back, friends
Mm.
with my mother after I became a
After
mother.
become a mother.
Yeah.
So true.
That's
That
why
is so
that's what I
true.
meant when
Very
I
good
said that
friend.
I asked the wrong question. It's not that Mega, are you friends with your daughter? Mega,
Mhm.
are you now best friends with your mother?
Yeah, of
Like,
course. Undoubtedly. I think as soon as you embrace motherhood,
yeah.
you go back to your mother for
I
all
think
the
even
tips,
before,
for
I'm
all
not a
the
mother
banter, and
yet,
but
uh, but the moment you're married, I think the
oh yeah,
relationship
So
depends.
that
that's
is
yeah,
also there.
yeah,
So the
yeah,
moment
Yeah.
I was married, also, I mean, otherwise also, I think once I was out of that
Correct,
zone,
correct.
right, where
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
was under her supervision, when I started
Yes.
working, when I started
mhm,
getting independent, then you understand the hardships of life. You
life,
understand how the
yeah,
Yeah.
world works.
Which I was telling is that now if I look back, how is that we became friends with our parents? Because of the first point which we made in the initial beginning of the call, which is safety and non-judgment wala feeling. Na? Because with our parents, we are damn sure that it's a safe place and it is a place where we will not be judged. And that is why we could switch from being like parent and child to becoming friends with each other. And that is very important uh, for it to last this long and be this deep. I know not everybody is blessed enough. We are very blessed. I'm very blessed to have, parents who are now friends, and for them also it is like friendship only. But yeah, we then wind up
yeah.
Yes, and keep talking
to
and
our
keep having
friendship.
good friends.
Good friends. Yeah.